And welcome back to the Dreamcasting Gaming Podcast. Back today with a trio of myself, Terence, and Sean. And today we're going to bring you an episode concentrating on a varied set of topics today. One will be Blue-Eyed Samurai, which is a recent show that was on Netflix. That we feel was good enough that we're gonna, really go into a little bit of a conversation with it, avoiding as much spoilers as possible, and just try to give you more than an encouragement to actually, give that one a look in. And also, we'll be talking about the recent passing of the creator of Dragon Ball Z, and the surrounding and the impact of that anime. And what it's done over the last decades from when it first came, as well as gaming news, of course, which there will be quite a bit of. And yeah, we will continue through with that, along with some randoms. So without further ado, and I'm not sure if much has happened since the last time, but we'll go around this table, or shall I say this triangle here, and see what's new and move forward. So without further ado, Terence, what's new?
Yeah, what's good, man? Nothing much, man. Same old. Been watching some shows, playing some games. Yeah, man. Just it's the beginning of the year, man. I know it's fast approaching April, whatnot, but yeah, man. Beginning of the year, you stay inside, keep warm and game, and
the year's moving a bit swift for my liking. I can't, it's moving really swift, to be honest. The fact it's April in a matter of weeks is very fun. Very, very, very funny.
But yeah, just quickly on the gaming side, like I've been trying out some games. I ended up going back to Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, and it's funny because like I was playing some games. I was playing Suicide Squad, and I was just this just isn't hitting. Yeah. I was just playing numerous other things, and I think I even said it to you guys. I was like, oh, what should I play? Cyberpunk or whatnot?
Yeah. I remember you asking. I was like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, and then some people was just like, do you know what? I saw Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I thought, oh, let me just, and yeah, I started number 1, and I'm now halfway number 3. So, like,
and wait, is this your what? How many playthroughs have you done?
Too many to count, man. Like, I have to say, Mass Effect is probably the most played game ever. Like, I've done so many playthroughs, I've lost count to the point where like I know the game off head. It's crazy, but I still enjoy it. And
listen. If I had time, I could play Mass Effect right now and enjoy it like it's a
game. And easy. I have to admit, I know everyone like low key doesn't really like the third one. I have to say, the third one, like in terms of gameplay, is by far the best one.
Look. Well, what I'll say to that is, at the time, I was one of the ones who was like, I remember playing it, finishing it, and the takeaway is, like, the gameplay and everything's improved vastly actually from the first and second one, but the removal of some of the RPG elements was some of the letdown. The choices and consequences letdown. But by today's standards, that game's really good. Yeah, like really, really good. That's the problem. It's like, how could
after you see Andromeda? Right, don't forget there was Andromeda.
No, nobody plays Andromeda again. Nobody plays that game again.
Because playing it, I'm sitting there playing it. And like I said, the game came out, I think, like 12 years ago or something like that. So I'm sitting there and playing it, and I'm thinking to myself, the mechanics of this game, like the playground, like the combat, that's blowing games out of the water from today's standards. Because depending on the class you pick, like the way you can combine weapons, like I didn't really deep it into, because I'm playing it now and I'm playing it with different strategies. You make Liara use singularity, and then everyone floats in the air, and you can do charge, and it's a massive explosion. You can link people's biotic powers, like the gunplay, like the headshots. It's the first. It's got that Gears of War headshot. Like you can.
That's right. Remember, it definitely had that.
Their heads just goes plunk. Like it's like the person played Gears of War, whoever made number 3. Like
yeah.
In terms of gameplay, yeah, that game's far superior. And obviously, I'm playing them all back to back, so I'm playing
So
number
you're
2 and
seeing
certain
it,
things.
yeah,
Yeah,
seeing
certain
it
things
real
ain't
time, innit?
happening. Yeah,
Not
seeing it
years
real
apart.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
Free. Like you said, the story is very streamlined, isn't it? And you can tell playing free, you can tell the ambition of the first 2 games just buckled. Like they just couldn't stick the landing on the third one because so many things could happen. They basically had to make a game where none of the characters, because remember everyone could die, so
That's
they had
right.
to make a game where
and
Rex
everyone
wasn't
could
there.
live. So imagine you have to make a game where everyone lived,
and
a
everyone
game where
died.
everyone died, a game where only some people died, and then you're gonna have to do the. Yeah, it's not easy to do, but But listen, that's where BioWare were. They had that kind of scope. They had that kind of vision.
And while it wasn't perfect, the gameplay is the best in the series. Like
Yeah,
the
it
best in the
is. It
series.
is, and visually as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, visually, it was very good.
And obviously, they didn't land.
You know what else they did as well? And I don't know if they got it in the Legendary Edition, but remember they added the whole multiplayer aspect,
No, they took that out.
which I did enjoy. I did enjoy it, but I do feel it was a misuse of resources at that time.
Yeah,
and that probably had a part to play in that.
Yeah, definitely, because that was around that time when everyone had a multiplayer mode, isn't it? In their games. And
that's why they jumped on it. Yeah.
I'll have to call it out, yeah. And I know it's EA's fault, but I always have to call it out when I reference Mass Effect 3. It was disgusting the fact that they made the Prothean the DLC. That made no sense whatsoever.
A character that was pretty much staple to the story. Yeah,
to the story was a
disgusting.
Yeah, I
remember it was a thing back then. People complained about that.
Yeah, remember it was the thing where if you bought it, remember they were doing that thing where like to ensure that you bought the game brand new, you get the code, isn't it? So everyone got the game. Everyone got it if you bought it brand new. But if you bought the game second hand, you didn't get the Prothean because it was EA's way. I forgot what was it called, EA Pass.
I think it was a pre-order thing, or I think it was the EA Pass.
Yeah, do you remember EA used to do this thing where like all of their games
to play online, you had to do punch in the code and all of that.
Yeah, not to play online, but all of their games came with content, but you had to use the code in the box to get the content. So if you sold the game, that person would then have to buy that content for £10. I think it was £10.
Yeah.
So if you bought Mass Effect second hand, you had to pay £10 to get.
I remember EA, man. They
because it was for the online as well. They did that for like boxing games. And, they did. They did do it because you couldn't play online unless you bought the pass.
They
remember that.
Deep.
Yeah.
To get people to not. That was their way to stop pre-owned games. They did not like pre-owned games.
And it's so funny. Pre-owned games have kind of killed itself because Game don't even do pre-owned no more, and that's amazing to think. Like Game do not do pre-owned no more. Like you can't take
Game don't sell any.
Nah, your Game don't. But I think
I think Game might. I think once stock's gone, but they don't accept pre-owned games no more. You can't take your games.
Remember before you could go in there with like loads of games.
Wow.
And then,
they stopped it. They don't take second-hand games no more.
Yeah.
They just sell toys.
Computer exchange is like the last point of trading in games then. Computer exchange.
Pretty much.
And then again, there's something. I'm on this like not retro because I can't even call 360 retro, but I'm on this old games. Old games.
It is retro now, man. It is retro now.
No, but do you know what game I downloaded and I've been playing? Fight Night Championship.
Wow.
Like been working that game, and it's funny because like I did exactly what I did when I first bought the game. I'm playing it. You know, when you just like you're playing it like it's a fighting game. Boom, 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 boom. But I'm battling the guy. The guy gives me one punch and I get knocked out.
Yeah, it's stamina.
Stamina. Yeah. So now I've gone back into like cool. Body blows, just weaken him, and then by like the 5th, 6th round, I'm just bam, hard body blow knocked out. I love that.
That's too funny, Terrence. That is too.
That they need to bring Fight Night back. I know they're on UFC, but because I can see that
it's a little. Mechanics... You know what happened? Because for years we were trying to champion to get another Fight Night, but so much happened in boxing where
EA, but boxing's not popular like that no more, isn't it? Right, EA follow money, innit?
And no matter what people think, people seem to think it is, and it really is not. It don't command the numbers it used to.
Listen. From when, like I'm not the biggest boxing fan, yeah. Like I wouldn't say I'm the biggest, but I'm not like hardcore into boxing that I know everything. Yeah. But for me, the way I know that sport is heading downhill is the fact you've got AJ fighting a UFC fighter and people are going, that's the most dumbest fight I think I have. One of the most dumbest fight outside of.
That's not the dumbest. The dumbest is the next fight coming.
No, but when you see influencer. When you see Mike Tyson and influencer, you know that's just gimmicky. That's just for the internet. But the fact that like the AJ fight with the UFC guy was in Saudi Arabia, they made it like it was a big thing. I'm like, no, you guys are just show monkeys for the Arabs. I'm sorry to say it, but you just are in it.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something.
You just are in it. You're show monkeys. They're like, let's get the UFC fighter. Let's get
you know what, Terrence? I'm gonna give you your receipt right now. You are actually on the ball with what you're saying right now. You're on the ball with that. Yeah, there is look, and I can tell you
means nothing. Everyone's saying AJ's back.
It was meaningless. But I'll say this. What happened there? And what happened there was you took a guy who champions in his field, right? He champions in his field. He's a specialist in his field. And he got in the ring with someone who doesn't really know anything about that field that he's in. And there was mass celebration, oh my gosh, he's back. He's great again. If he gets in the ring with so-and-so, he'll knock out this guy. I've never seen AJ like this before. And then my only response to that, because I saw some people, let's say very recently, who also in the field of boxing, and they were on the same kind of time. And basically they were like, oh yeah, man, he looks so good. And I said, hold on a minute. Let's just put things into perspective here. If you were to take AJ, take off his boots, put on some UFC gloves, put him in an octagon, and Francis Ngannou did the same thing that he did to him in the same amount of time, would you say that Francis Ngannou is now a legend or he's back now?
Exactly.
What's wrong with you people? Like, why are you so simplified in just gobbling up and just accepting something that makes no sense? And then you've got this non-reactive Saudi crowd just sitting there with their arms folded. And I'm like, this really isn't it, you know? But they're being paid such obscene amounts of money that they can't even see. Yeah, they can't even see that you literally are just apes. You're just behaving like apes. You're just jumping up and down, and you're thinking you're doing something. Look, I can tell you this as well now. You're not seeing no more big fights in this country. Not happening again. It's over. All that Wembley stuff, done.
Yeah, because ain't they even saying the Battle of Britain will be in Saudi Arabia as well? And there's no belt on the line, right?
But check this though. Understand this. Last year, I don't know if it was. I think it might have been the Fury undercard. There was a fight between Adelaide and a guy called Wardley, and that was for a British title. A British title. Have you ever? When I heard that, I said, "Boy, that's the British heavyweight title. Why are they fighting and it's not in Britain?" And I said, "The money must be crazy." And literally, the money. The thing here is this: you're getting money for a fight that you would have to take in excess maybe of 10 fights to get, and maybe even more than that for some of them. So it literally is just a case of listen. They've just been sold, as you're saying. They just sold, and it's just crazy. It really is crazy. But I'll tell you this: a lot of people are getting wind of it, and they're not liking it. Like, a lot of people saw that, and they were just like, "Oh, something's not right with this so Saudi situation." Because it's not just boxing, neither. I think they grabbed up snooker recently.
They grabbed up golf. That was a big one. Ooh, people are angry with that one. Like sorry, Rascon. They took golf. They've taken tennis. Like, and remember that's the reason the Embracer Group are doing all the layoffs, because they were meant to sell to the Saudi.
I got lost for a minute, didn't I?
Yeah, they were meant to. I was just saying that. Like, I was just listing the places that Saudi have taken. Like, they've taken like I said, tennis. They're taking golf. Yeah. Like, there was a big thing in golf because people were defecting from like the PGA and whatnot, and going to Saudi. And then I was just saying that's the reason why the Embracer Group of laying off all the studios, because the Embracer Group were meant to sell to Saudi. And then that deal fell through, and now Embracer have to close all their studios and stuff. So But yeah,
it's literally a mess.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing anyway. Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, I just want to say, been on quite a tangent this one.
Yeah, no, that was just because I was playing Fight
intro.
Night. Well, now you know why I was playing Fight Night.
I
wanted some authentic boxing. I had to go to a game.
Terrence, you're sounding when you want to sling on your boxing gloves and start.
No, but I'm just saying, I
had
to go to a game to get an authentic boxing experience because that weren't cutting it. That's the long and short. I went to Fight Night Championship.
Listen, and Fight Night Championship ain't that like 10 years old?
Yeah, yeah, it's 360 game. But the game lives up, man. The game.
No, listen, those games were way ahead of themselves.
Yeah, way ahead.
Particularly their visuals as well. Their visuals were just really, really forward.
Yeah, but yeah, that's mine.
Okay. Moving on to you, Sean.
Yeah, no, I'll keep mine very short. You know, obviously, I'd been playing Last Epoch. So that was a new ARPG that come out by another indie studio. So that was that's a game I've been playing. But yeah, I've been slowing down on that as I prep for the release of Dragon Age 2. We're just a week away from that launch.
Dragon Age 2? What?
Dragon Age 2. Oh my god, Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Dragon's
Dogma. About to be like, I don't even know
Dragon Age 2.
Dragon Age 2? What?
Dragons all over the place. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. Okay. As a week away from that. So they released a character creator demo. So you're able to create your character as well as a main pawn that you're gonna have. So your main character will have a main pawn that goes around with them, and then you got two other pawns that you can select that other people have made or that you meet in game. Right. So they allow you to create those two characters. So I went on there, jumped on there, sort of had a look at some of the graphical settings. So like, you know, we've got the option to go up to 120 FPS, you know, you know, we can set it to a variable frame rate. You know, we've got a few options there.
Okay, so sorry, when you say you were able to do that, what did you, when you made that choice, what was you seeing? Is it just during the character creation screen? You weren't able to actually do anything else other than that?
No, so you can't, so, you know, obviously a game will start and it gives you the game menu. And the game menu is either you're going to start the game or you've got options. And obviously options, you go in and you can do sound, graphics, all those settings are there, but then the only option you have, rather than start game, is just create character. So you've got create your character and you've got create a pawn. So you've got these two, and then they give you slots for multiple characters. So you can create multiple main characters or multiple pawns. Because like the pawns that you can create, you can also post them online for other people to use those pawns. Because that's the thing that Dragon's Dogma does. So when you're creating pawns, you can create stuff that other people are going to use online that you can put into the online space. And obviously I've been seeing, you know, like on Reset Era, you can see like the threads of people that characters they've made. I've seen Geralt, I've seen bloody Heisenberg, I've seen Tobey Maguire, I've seen Guts from Berserk.
It's very, very detailed.
I've seen Leon from Resident Evil. I've seen Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate 3. Like, and they look so much like the characters. Like, the character creator is really, really good. I think it's the best we've seen in years for character creation. Me myself, I hate spending loads of time in the character creation. So I just quickly pick something that's good enough, and then I'm like, yep, that's me, done. So mine was,
you know what? I'm the total opposite, you know? Because even in something like the Souls games, I'm always like, I'll make a character and then I'll make a template of like what I want to keep. Like that's my template, and it's always little fine refinements. Even though you're flipping wearing armor, there is that sometime where you may have your face might be out or something like that.
Because you always try to replicate yourself, don't you?
Not so much anymore. Now I try to go for sometimes partly myself, but then I might make like white dreadlocks or white hair if it's a wizard person or something like that. It may even change. And as I said before, sometimes when I'm playing games and let's say I'm playing another gender, which would be a female, that's not me, I'm afraid. So yeah, it can depend. It can depend on the game.
Yeah, no, me, because I just typically, I don't try to create myself because I just think it's just not, it's never going to look like me, so I'd never go for that. I just create a character that is typically black because I'm black, and male because I'm male. So I could we just try to create something that doesn't annoy me to look at. That's what I always plan when I make a character. As long as it doesn't annoy me to look at this character, then I'm good to go. And that's what I go for. I just try to let me have a character that doesn't annoy me to look at. Because when I look at some characters, they are annoying, and I'm like, oh my god, this character looks terrible. Like Jedi Survivor. I don't like looking at this ginger guy. Like it's not something that is relatable to me. So it feels completely like disconnected when I'm playing. And he doesn't look like any. Obviously, when you look at Star Wars, he's none of those characters. So he's completely a new person. So it's
That's
like when
true.
you're playing something that you can't control, and like it's not as great to look at this character in cutscenes because it's like this isn't relatable to me. This is just some character that I'm playing. So typically, I like to create something that's relatable, but it doesn't need to be exactly me. I don't try to make it look exactly like me because it's just like
Okay, that's
typically
good.
they're not really good. Yeah, I saw Asmongold create his character, and he's made a character that looks actually like him. So it's like really funny that like you can read like this character creator. I think is the closest thing to being able to make yourself, but you've got to spend a lot of time, like hours, doing it, and I just can't be bothered to do that.
Fair dues.
Yeah, that's me. I'm preparing for that game.
Okay.
So how about yourself?
Myself, let's see. Since the last time, I have been have I watched? Well, actually, no. I'm gonna do this the other way around. So I have been playing. I went back to Elden Ring, and the reason I went back to Elden Ring was because there was an announcement. I don't think we mention this in the last podcast.
I don't think it was announced then.
No, it wasn't announced. It was an announcement yet. So there was a new DLC announced for Elden Ring called Shadow of the Erdtree, and it got me. It really triggered me to go back to Elden Ring, which I went back to just for a little while. But I went back on there, and I am extremely excited for this expansion. Anyone who's listening to this, anyone who's been on the Instagram page would know the last time when Elden Ring came out, it did a little opening of a collector's edition, and there's another collector's edition for this one, which was met with some issues on Bandai Namco's website within hours, and it hasn't been available since. However, there's hope that it can be secured from another site, and that's the collector's edition with the new villain. But yeah, the game looks fantastic. With the interview of Miyazaki, he's claiming that the game is going to be the biggest DLC they've done, which would make it extremely huge considering most of the DLCs from Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, they're usually very sizable. So we're expecting a lot, and the trailer was quite amazing too. So yeah, I touched on that. There's been a little bit of Hearthstone going on because it's their 10-year anniversary, so I've been playing that quite a bit as well. And there was a massive update on Warhammer Total War 3. So I've been in there as well. With regards to other things, which will take us into our first topic, I have watched some stuff too. Terrence, did you say you watched anything or not really?
I haven't finished anything. I've been
Okay,
watching
so I watched
in London
to its entirety a show on Netflix called The Blue Eyed Samurai. Stumbled on this one day when it just auto played on Netflix, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's definitely one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. Now it is an anime. I think it's being it's being classed more as an adult animated action. But it is an anime, and it's classified as an 18 for very good reasons. So there is a lot of adult tones in there, but don't be dissuaded by that because the story is extremely good. And as you can probably tell by the title, Blue Eyed Samurai, we've got a main character who has blue eyes. She's she's mixed, obviously being Japanese, and mixed with a heart white. I don't know if it's what is the official title? I don't know if it's Onimusha or something like that, or whatever. Anyway, she's on a quest. Her name's Mizu, and she's on a quest for vengeance. I don't want to give anything away, but she's on a quest for vengeance that makes a lot of sense as to why. But there are some really good twists and turns in this show. Which did you see any of them coming, Terrence, or was you as shocked as I was with some of it?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, you know me, I'm a story guy, isn't it? And I think, like,
Yeah,
for me, I always get enjoyment when I watch something and I can't tell what's gonna happen. Like, you think, you know, when you watch something and you're like,
you think you know, and then
yeah,
right,
that's the killer. Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
he's gonna betray him. It's bait. Or
Yep.
Yeah. I think every aspect of the story I was not expecting. Like, a lot of what happens I wasn't expecting. I think it even gets to a point where you're like, oh, okay, so this is what she's gonna do. She's going to basically do X, Y, and Z because, like you said, it's revenge, isn't it? So it's quite straightforward what she's going to do, right? And then the end is like a big twist. Like, you're like, oh wow, so it's not that. Like, like, wait, I'm confused. Okay, bring on season 2 because my brain is just, it's like it gave me that kind of Game of Thrones feeling where you're just like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
This is one of the shows I'd say. Usually, you know, where like you can just turn it off at a certain point, be like, yes, okay, I'll go back to it. No, there was none of that in this show. It definitely one of the shows where I can't wait to watch the next episode. It's definitely one of those. You get that, and the action, like some of the action was so well done that I was like, look, I need to do some research into exactly exactly what was going on with the art, the design, and everything else, because the effort put into this is immense, absolutely immense.
So and obviously I haven't really watched Attack on Titan. That's on my list because I'm trying to do an anime.
Right.
So everyone talks about Attack on Titan, like,
yeah,
being a great action, but for me, I don't think I've seen like anime fight scenes like this detailed, like this.
Okay, what I'll say to that is this is grounded. So imagine there's no like special beams or giants or stuff like that. This is all sword play, hand-to-hand combat, scenery use. It's so grounded and so spun that's what I think is really great about it. It's like, whoa, you know what? This looks so good. Even there was something I noticed where there's like some puff of smoke that goes across the screen, and I'm like, my gosh, man, look at these details here.
Yeah.
And
very grounded.
Yeah, like even the interaction with the geishas and the food, like I was like, yeah, you know what? At the date, I was thrown off. I was really thrown off in a good way. Like, whoa, you know what? I wasn't expecting Netflix to really deliver anything of this level, particularly in the anime area. But
do you know why I'm laughing? Because I don't even want to spoil it. But like,
yeah, it's hard. It's like, you know what? It's so hard.
When you're talking about the geishas, I was just thinking of
yeah, I know
the scene. You know what I'm talking about, isn't it?
Sure, listen. And this goes for everyone listening, yeah. It's gonna. I don't even know because that's gonna sound a bit mad for me to say it's worth it just to see this certain scene. But there's a scene where you are gonna be like, what? Like you're gonna be like, wait, what? And you're gonna be like, what the hell? Did they really just do that? But you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh and be shocked at the same time. And I know what you're thinking about. You're gonna laugh and be shocked at the same time.
I laugh because I was thinking, wait, that's what man's doing, yes. Say less.
Yeah, I said, whoa. I said to myself, okay, that's wasn't expecting that. Expecting that. And it's what I'm saying. It's the direction and even doing that scene and doing it in that way. I know that they were being very creative there. And I guess one of the things is we're so used to not seeing so much creativity anymore that to even see a creative scene like that really got me. I was like, you lot really went for that one there. And it's not the only one. There's a few. So, like I said, it's eight episodes. I think it's been confirmed that there will be a season 2. And it's just a great ride. 8 episodes, great ride. I don't think I think the longest one might be 40 something minutes. Shortest is about 30 something. But put it this way, I think it's going to pick up even more steam as time goes on. So even though we're one of the early ones to watch it, I do believe it's going to get more and more popular, either through GIFs or memes or someone referencing. Because there's a couple quotes and lines in there that are pretty sharp as well.
Oh, so do you know what I was gonna say? One of my criticisms for it, is like the soundtrack is amazing because it's authentic Japanese soundtrack, but I don't like the Western music because they use Western.
So you didn't like it when the bells toll by Metallica?
Yeah.
I you see, the thing is, for me, I did like that. I
Not saying
I
I
know what you mean.
Not saying I like it. I just don't think it.
I know what you mean. It didn't fit. But then remember, they also had that song that's in Kill Bill, which I was gonna bring up as well.
Yeah.
The very same song. I don't know if it plays in Kill Bill 1 or 2. But there is a Kill Bill song, and it does feel very Kill Bill in the beginning, particularly the character Oren Ishii, which I think I said before.
But the reason why, like, even I didn't really mind like that sort of Kill Bill music is because the Kill Bill music is made for that. It's made for old school Japanese traditional music.
So that's what I'm saying. It definitely fit for that. But
when they started playing Western music, it did throw me a bit. Like it did fit the scenes, it did fit what they're doing. But for me,
that's what I was going to say to you. So check it. It fit the scene, but I guess the overall.
I don't think it was needed. Well,
it wasn't. I know what you mean.
You just said it's grounded, right? It's a grounded.
I do know what you
anime.
mean.
It's grounded in the combat. It's grounded in.
However, though, but remember, you could say that, but she is mixed, so maybe that music kind of plays in that.
Metallica went around in them 1600s.
That's true, but no, they weren't around.
And she's British.
But listen, but their great grandparents were. So that works. That works in that sense.
So yeah, so that like I said, that was the only thing that, like I said, it didn't ruin it for me because, like I said, the music fitted. But sometimes I just find it weird. You know, like sometimes if you're watching like a period piece or something that's not Western, and then they put Western music, it can kind of throw me. Like,
I know what you mean.
It's like imagine they started playing Bob Marley in some Blue Eye Summer, right? Like you'd be like, what's Bob Marley?
Like, you remember in Luke Cage season 2?
There you go.
They were on the ball. They were playing the right music there. It was good. It was actually a good soundtrack on that one. But I do get what you mean. Definitely get what you mean. Okay, so that takes us through Blue Eye Samurai. Sean, do you have any questions about Blue Eye Samurai, by the way?
No.
Good. Just make sure you watch it, yeah? That's good. That's good. You make sure you watch that movie.
I watch a lot of anime, so yeah, at some point I'm going to have to
give
it a go.
Like I said, it's short, it's not long, and it will allow you to get in on the conversation because as I said, it's up there. It is up there. And it does something the other animes don't do, which I find. So as I said, it is an 18. And it's not an 18 just for the sake of being an 18. It actually is justifiable 18. So from there, as we're in the anime space, we're also gonna touch on the recent death of Akira Toriyama, who is the creator, or was the creator, of Dragon Ball Z. Now, I think you name it, any anime you want, they've been influenced by this guy's work. And I think most people will have a story as to, what Dragon Ball meant to them or their first time getting into it, and then other animes proceeding after that. Me, myself, I'd always known what Dragon Ball Z was. But I saw it, I think it might have been 2018 or 2019 was the first time I actually watched it through. But before that, this guy's works was familiar to me through things like Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest. So he had a very, very unique art style that a lot of animes were influenced by and kind of followed on with, right up to the ones of today. So I don't know if anyone wants to mention anything particular with regards to Dragon Ball Z, or anything that you felt came from Dragon Ball Z that you thought, was the pinnacle of, I really like anime and stuff. So any of you guys got anything you want to add to that?
I know. Yeah, just to piggyback off what you're saying. Yeah, like I said, like obviously everyone's gonna have their like own opinion on like what is like one of the greatest animes or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think like in terms of like, I think I could be wrong, but I think Dragon Ball Z is probably the most iconic anime. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's the best or whatever.
No, it absolutely is the most iconic.
It's the most. I don't think there's an anime that is like is as big or iconic as Dragon Ball Z. That and the reason why I say that is because how old is Dragon Ball Z? But like you play Fortnite and Goku's in it.
Yeah, it's like, true.
2024, that there's no anime for that. No one's playing Guyver. No one there's no Guyver character in. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then Guyver's one of my favorite animes as well. But like Ninja Scroll, like those are all fantastic animes. But when I say iconic, and you have to rate the guy because what he's created, I feel like he's created something that is eternal. Like it's
I you know what I do with him? He's in the same breath as what's the guy there? Stan Lee.
Yeah.
He's the same as that. What Stan Lee did for comics, this man did for anime. And Jack Kirby and all them guys, all them Marvel guys and DC guys, he's in the same breath as that.
Yeah, and what's interesting, like you look at it and you think to yourself, he did Dragon Ball, but then obviously it was Dragon Ball Z that really hit the high peak. And then he moved away from Dragon Ball Z, right? And then they brought in a new guy to do Dragon Ball GT, and that was just that tanked the series to the point where they had to recall him and pretend like Dragon Ball GT never happened, and did Dragon Ball Super, which is the real continuation. So it goes Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball GT is now like this non-canon. Yeah, it's like the Star Wars thing. It's just non-canon, bro. Like Luke Skywalker's children, bro. It just lives in the corner somewhere.
That's what they needed to do. I was glad they did that, because GT, I was just like, what is this?
GT was awful.
I never liked GT.
You see, that was before my time. I never saw it, so I had the privilege of being advised to stay away from GT around.
Yeah, I only ever saw a few episodes. It was like a few episodes I'm in them, and I was like, nah, this ain't it. So I never watched the whole GT saga.
Yeah, and even that,
I watched just a few episodes. And
I'm like with Sean. I watched a few episodes. I remember they were fighting someone called Baby. I was like, yeah, this is it.
Oh wow.
Nah. As soon as they turned Goku back into a child, I was like, nah, this is nonsense. What are you doing? And I was just like, this is not it. So I was just I checked out early.
And then I had like I was having a debate with one of my work colleagues.
Right.
What was the best saga, Cell or Frieza?
Frieza saga, easy.
And I said Frieza too, because I was like,
you know what it is? You see, some people ain't gonna agree with me. Ain't gonna agree with me on this one. Now don't get me wrong. Frieza is the best, yeah. But for me personally, I really like this. The Cell saga had its problems, but there was something with the Cell saga where it was the idea of Cell and the androids and stuff. I was like, man, this story is that's when it was that one that hit me, and I said, hold on, these stories have got some serious levels to them.
Yeah, Trunks coming back.
Yeah, you see Trunks coming. I was like, no, you know what? I'm actually liking this season way more than I thought I would. And it was basically
remember Trunks came back before that, so you're forgetting that Trunks came back for the Frieza.
Yeah, it was the same
Frieza
season.
Returned.
It was the same season though.
No,
same season.
Trunks. Yeah, actually, he came back because
he
Frieza
came back for the
had
Android.
returned.
He
came back for Frieza.
No. So what happened? What happened is Frieza came back. Remember, he got built. His dad came. He built Frieza. Trunks literally chopped them up in 10 seconds and was like, "Oh, the androids are coming. We need to stop the androids." So the Frieza was just cannon fodder.
But don't connect them.
He
But
was a
don't connect them.
phenomenal
There's the
character.
Android saga and then the Cell saga. So even though they're
But it was,
connected,
yeah,
there is
yeah,
a
it
saga
connected
actually
though,
called
didn't
the
it? It
Android
connected,
saga.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
Android saga was amazing. Like that was 16
Yeah.
and 17.
Yeah,
That
16 and
was the
And no,
17.
Android
Yeah.
wait.
saga.
And no, it was 16, 17, and the other one as well. You know the one
Yeah,
he didn't even
18.
want to be violent.
But he was revived a bit late.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
revived
that's right.
by 18.
And he was,
And
But yeah,
he was
no.
the one that didn't exist, right?
yeah,
In
he didn't
Trunks'
want to fight.
timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't trying to fight.
Yeah.
I
And like
think
the
he was the
whole
most powerful one though.
yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. There's something about that Cell Saga that was really, really good. And I think, do you know what it is? I think it's also the notion that like Goku didn't save the day, right? It was his son. Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
like,
That's right. That's right.
like Gohan
Goku
becoming the most.
wasn't Goku like what was he?
He
Was
was
he
dead.
dead? Was he an
Yeah, he
angel or
was dead.
something at that
He
point?
was dead. Yeah. And
Yeah,
remember, they couldn't revive him. And
that's right.
I remember thinking, wow, Dragon Ball Z have literally made Gohan the most powerful character for a couple sagas. Like it was
Yeah,
crazy
they
because,
did.
and the thing is, they seeded all of that. That's what I'm saying. The guy was a genius, man. That storyline, the whole
Mm,
Saiyan thing,
yeah,
Super
yeah.
Saiyan,
It was different,
Vegeta,
man.
like
It was
Yeah,
the
different.
man.
All of it, even Majin Buu, all of
yeah.
that. It was
When they
like I
went to
said. I
Namek,
got thrown.
Planet Namek to see the Piccolos.
Yep. No, it was. Listen, literally phenomenal, literally phenomenal stuff. And like I said, for me, it took me to fucking what the last 3, 4 years to have seen that. No, sorry, last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
And then, like you also,
And
like you said, his games, like it wasn't
yeah,
just that. His
he was.
art
This is the
style
thing
in
as well. His
games.
art style was involved in games because, as I said, it was Chrono Trigger. Because I remember when Chrono Trigger came out,
Yeah.
and you could see the picture. I was like, why is this looking like that Dragon Ball stuff? And then it was like, yeah, it's the same guy. And
Yeah.
great, absolutely great.
Dragon Ball, Dragon Quest, and Chrono Trigger. He was
Yep,
behind all
that's
that.
right. That's right. And
Yeah, man,
Dragon
he
Quest is
died young as
huge.
well, man.
Dragon Quest is huge.
Yeah, 68, very young.
So
For someone who has such a legacy.
and I'm
Yeah.
assuming he was still working on all the Dragon Balls because Dragon Ball hasn't stopped, right? It was still
Yeah,
working.
yeah, they're still super.
Yeah. It was. I think there was. Is there not something? Have they started
Oh
production on
yeah, he
anything
did
after?
they've done a sort of like spin-off sort of thing called Dragon Ball Daima where Goku, Vegeta are all young. It's like an alternate
Ah,
universe type thing, I believe.
okay.
But yeah.
Oh, it was
Maybe
that him
they're
as well, yeah.
Huh?
It was that him as well.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. But yeah, it's sad, man. But like you said, like that's the good thing when you're a creator is that like you may pass, but your
Yeah, no,
Work lives
your
forever,
stuff
man.
lives on,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, your stuff lives on forever, man. Which
Lives
is
on, and what it does is it's what it does for other people as well, which is really special.
You know, and people are talking about like, you know, obviously with everything going on with woke and all this, they're saying that Dragon Ball Z is one thing that united all races. Like
Yeah,
everybody
it
loved
truly
Dragon
did.
Ball Z, no matter where you're at,
Really did.
what country, didn't matter. Like everybody loved, all kids loved Dragon Ball Z, and it didn't matter what race you were. And it just shows how good something could be like handled without, you know, causing any sort of like, no one's there thinking about, oh, what races are these characters? No. Goku's Goku, Vegeta's Vegeta, Piccolo's Piccolo. Everybody just loves all these characters.
Well,
So it's just
you
like,
say that, and the
crazy.
thing is, I did want to go into this afterwards, which we will go back to that. But you see what you just said there, Sean, about so many different races and communities really, really adored Dragon Ball. Even though me growing up, I wasn't. I used to see everybody just watching it, everyone racing to watch, it, and it used to irritate me back then when I was young. I was like, man, what's all of this, man? People just talking for a whole episode, nothing going. I just walk out the living room and say, man, why is everyone? My cousins there, they all just acting like they ain't seen nothing, and I'd go off and do something else. It took me to turn into a big old man to watch the show. However, now I say that to say this, and I'm again following on from what you just said there, Sean, about everybody from all communities. And then it takes someone from this company known as Sweet Baby Inc., which is a diversity consultant company, and
cheers. Are we moving on? Yeah.
yeah, it seems so. I mean, this what we're gonna talk. This company we're about to talk about was meant to be for the end, but as you just mentioned something where nobody really was moaning or they could just enjoy what was there. A Sweet Baby Inc. employee decided that it was a good time to not just say, you know what, the man gave us good stuff. He said I believe his exact words was
Yeah, he said that Dragon Ball gave us the best and worst black
yeah,
characters.
but black characters. And when I heard that, and I was like, black characters, because I'm thinking there's nobody blatantly black in the show. And then I remember
you talking about Mr. Popo?
Yeah, Mr. Popo.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
talking about
Mr.
Mr. Popo is the worst. Yeah.
I was like, wait, I don't know about you. Now, I weren't personally ever really offended by Mr. Popo. I used to just think, what?
I just used to think it was just some alien thing. I never thought
the thing is as well,
race.
Mr. Popo had, I'm pretty sure, a turban on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know any of our communities who traditionally wear turbans.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'd be getting the offense from there. But I was just like, and what is this? I was thinking, why? What are you saying this for? For what reason? And
he was never relatable as a black character, so I never saw him as a black character.
No, me neither.
Yeah, for me, the most black character was Piccolo. So what was
exactly. Yeah. And he's a green guy.
He's a green guy
with some antlers, and I'm just like, that made more sense to me.
So who was the best? So he said the worst.
I have no idea who referred to as the best.
Yeah, I don't know who he's referring
to. Again, this is just some weirdo talking nonsense, but it got a lot of traction, and I'm pretty sure. I think it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna go into what we got to say now. So, now I want to be sure about this before I actually say it, but it could actually be the same person who recently created a hate campaign for a Steam group. So those of you listening, recently there was a Steam group, and Steam is a platform on PC where you can play games, meet other communities, have discussions and whatnot else. But there was a group curated to show basically all games with involvement from a consultancy company. Now, to put this into perspective for anyone listening, let's just imagine someone, let's say whatever you do in life. So let's just say you're a writer or something, and someone decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to set up something that shows everything you've ever written. Anyway, they did that, and it doesn't, when you do that, it's not, you can't put next to it, oh, they're this, they're that, or the other. It just says, hey, listen, here's a system that shows you every game that this consultancy company has been involved in. Now, an employee from this consultant company, it might be a high level one, I'm not too sure. I probably should have done my due diligence to find out exactly who, was trying to get this curation taken down. And the reason was I'm pretty sure they believed it was a hate. It was a hate campaign or some problem. And the bounce back was, well, hold on a minute, we're just letting people know what games you've been involved in, so that so that it can be avoided. Well, why would you want to avoid their games? Well, the reason why you may want to avoid their games because they have a pretty bad track record in terms of the games they've been involved in. However, normally, if someone's happy and proud of what they do, they shouldn't really have an issue. If someone's running around saying, hey, that's what Raphael did or that's what Terrence did, unless you're either embarrassed, unless you don't want people to know because it's just not worthy, or unless you have some kind of agenda behind what you're doing and you'd rather people didn't know, so therefore they weren't warned. So back to the situation. And the situation is that they have been involved in a lot of gaming failures as of recent. And a lot of those failures seem to come down to, just to put it simply, ticking social boxes and inclusion boxes. And some people say, what do you mean by that? Well, if you just look at the world now in terms of what people, well, I wouldn't even say most people, but a pocket of people seem to want representation, and sometimes not even for themselves, but for other people. Because there seems to be this voice for certain communities when the majority of that community is not even really asking for what's being done. So here's one for you. There was a recent game called First Spoken. Okay. Terrence, you played that game.
Were they involved in that?
I believe they were, no. No. Either Sweet Baby was or another consultancy of a similar ilk was. But here's one. Okay, let's just put one that we blatantly know, a more recent one. So Suicide Squad. Okay. So Suicide Squad came out, and you may think, well, hold on a minute. You can't really say there's what's the box ticking there? Well, put it to you like this. This company comes in and a whole load of as I said before, a whole load of legacy characters are kind of gotten rid of. But it says kill the Justice League, okay? Now the Justice League consists of I'm pretty sure it's five males and Wonder Woman's the only woman? Yeah, she's the only woman. She's the only one who doesn't die in this game. Which is not coincidental based on how.
Don't spoil it for people.
Well, okay, sorry, spoilers, but whatever. Kill the Justice League, but leave out Wonder Woman. Everybody else gets, from what I've gathered, gets some of the most disrespectful treatment.
You read it, Amanda Walker. She's basically she's got a superior role in it. Is that her name?
Right. Yeah.
Have I said her name right?
Amanda Waller. That's correct.
Waller.
Yeah.
There, I said Walker. Yeah. Waller. Yeah. Just for context, isn't it? Like you don't play as her, but in terms of
no. But you can see. So there's definitely. Go on.
I haven't finished the game, but where I'm at in the game, there are 3 strong female characters in the game that have big roles.
So check this. Listen to this. I have no, and this is the thing. Terrence, we were just talking about a show called Blue Eyed Samurai. One of the best depiction of a strong female in a show I've seen in a long time. That came across believable and natural. However, you take a game like this, and you take this game, and for whatever reason, Harley Quinn has just suddenly turned into, the Batman killer. Like after all these years, all these decades of Harley Quinn, she's just able to do a bullet to the head, or whatever to that. Then it just goes on and on and on and on. But for whatever reason, they wouldn't touch Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is not been touched.
She's probably the best character in the game from what I've played so far.
There you go.
In terms of her portrayal, what she does, who she is, what she stands for. She hasn't been, affected by, from where I am, she's not affected by what's going on with the other members. She's still, herself fully.
Also, so we had Suicide Squad. So back to this created list. So this created list had told people that basically the games to avoid if you're not really into things that have been touched by Sweet Baby Inc. involve Alan Wake 2.
Okay, cool. I was going to just put up the list.
Yep, Starfield, Ragnarok, Mortal Kombat 1, Miles Morales, and there seems to be many more. And
they did Spider-Man 2, they did Suicide Squad. They did
Spider-Man 2 as well.
Yeah, they did the Crew Motorfest.
I don't know that one.
And then they did Goodbye Volcano High, which makes perfect sense because I stayed well away from that game. I saw a trailer for it and I was like, yep, I know what this is trying to do. Not for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at some of the games and it makes sense. When you hover, sorry, because I don't really know them, so I'm learning as well. So, Kill the Justice League. It says they worked on script writing, banter, cutscenes, barks, audio logs. So that makes kind of a lot of sense.
Also, remember this. So there's been more developments recently. So guys, there's going to be quite a bit of this we miss out because there's a lot has happened in a short space of time, but it's also traveling back now. So understand this. They're clients. So those are the games they've worked on, but they have clients, including Xbox Game Studios, including EA, including Ubisoft, including Warner Brothers Games, obviously. However, and Remedy, because that's obviously for Alan Wake. But Take-Two had popped up recently, and it seems to have people somewhat triggered with regards to GTA, which is a whole nother beast altogether. Not to be confirmed, but they consider them their clients.
For GTA?
Who's the owner of Rockstar Games?
Take-Two.
Right, Take-Two. So yeah, them.
Oh, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're working on.
No, it
GTA.
doesn't. But it doesn't necessarily mean that. That's what people are arguing to.
Yeah,
But
we know Rockstar. I think we were talking about this.
I mean, they should be, yeah. Which is again, now that's another conversation we get on. But also Square Enix. So I believe that's where the what's Forspoken Square Enix.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have a feeling it's that. But the bottom line is that these companies, there was rumors before, but they do exist and they do have involvement in, as they like to put it, writing, narrative, representation, and development. Now, one thing about receipts, they can be very dangerous for people when they get into a position of things like this, where they have the power to, either push something, have the final say on things, and it was brought to light that just imagine you're a creator, and you say with your mouth you want to create things that make women feel uncomfortable. I mean, just imagine the thought behind that, because that was said with regards to the opposite way, that they want to make men feel uncomfortable in stories that they create. I can't understand that. I don't understand why you would want to do that. But that seems to be the mindset of where they're going and what they're doing. So it's a Canadian company. They're getting pulled up a lot, and their name just will not leave. Every day something's coming out, and it's not stopping. So the last big one that is confirmed is the whole Steam created group that they wanted pulled down, and it couldn't be pulled down. Steam refused to put it down because it wasn't breaching anything. It was just letting people know this is what you've worked on. And why you would have a problem with that is beyond anyone, unless, of course, you have hidden agendas or you don't want people to know what you're really up to. And
it is. Do you know it is? Like, it's I guess whoever, you can tell this Sweet Baby Inc. or whoever, I don't know who the faces of these companies are, but you can tell that, like, where they messed up is that it's like they wanted some sort of recognition, and it's blown back in their faces. What they're you can tell they were like, oh, we're making changes in the game, and it's blown back in their faces, because you see these companies here, yeah, they've been around. They've been around. Like when we were playing our favorite games, all like that, when we hear, oh, BioWare, all these companies use these type of companies to make their games, because you need consultancy on your games, especially if you're making a game about certain things. If you're doing a Dragon Age game and you're dealing with, I don't know, slavery, that's the elves that are slaves or whatever, you need consultancy on that. You need to speak to people, you need to speak to organizations, you need to. So these companies have been out there. It just seems like
I agree with that they've always been there in some capacity.
But that's what I'm saying. But these guys seem like, I'm reading about it, these guys seem like they just wanted the fame. They seem like they thought they were doing something good. They thought they were.
I'll say this. Well, what I gather from here, what I'm gathering from here is this. Obviously, we had our situation in 2020 with the whole BLM stuff, and a lot of these guys, like, imagine a lot of activists and people who want to enforce or change certain things can't necessarily always get their agenda through or their voices through in certain outlets. But what's happened is they've been able to come in an avenue through here, which is gaming. And it's like, maybe we can get our message through here, because it's nothing to do with games. They don't care about games. It doesn't matter. They couldn't really push their thing anywhere else. But they've been able to do it here, and they've been effective to a degree until we move to the point where it's affecting the perception of certain franchises, games, and how well they do in terms of sales. Now, what I will say about gaming, the difference with gaming and I think the other mediums, is that gamers really are not on that kind of time. They're really not. When someone gets their game, they really do want to just enjoy their game without anything being thrown in their face that they didn't sign up for. They spend hard money on it, and from what I can tell, the industry of gaming is still extremely interested in profitizing. Those big ones definitely want to profit, The indies do what they do, and it would seem it's definitely affecting gaming more in the sense of it's almost immediate. It's like, okay, this has got this in. I don't need to see it to know it's not for me. Whereas the film can come out and some people need to see it to really believe. They kind of get away with it a bit more until more recently, and they funnel out their films a lot quicker. Whereas in game production, and particularly the bigger ones, I mean, Suicide Squad took how long? That could not afford to bomb the way it did, and to see it is shocking to see how bad it is that there's barely nobody playing it after it being so new.
What I'll say to that, I don't think Suicide Squad bombed because of these guys.
It didn't help.
Like, not at all. I don't think they had anything to like. I don't think that I wouldn't sit here and say like.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me say this.
The game bombed because of the type of game it is. Like people, they
okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Let me land.
Would you also say then that they were part of the success of some of the other games that did well?
No,
they've been involved.
No. So yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that like I don't think I wouldn't sit here and say these guys are responsible for a game's success or a game's failure. And the reason why I say that is because the aspects that these guys are involved in are not what is highlighted as a success or a failure.
Right.
So
when
we're playing Suicide Squad, they're not complaining because Harley Quinn does whatever she does or Wonder Woman. They're complaining because the game is crap. They're complaining because it's repetitive. It's a live service game. It's not like Arkham, yada yada yada. When we go back to one of their games here that I've seen that they played is God of War Ragnarok. That game was successful not because they said, "Oh, let's make one of the white characters a black dreaded head girl."
Yep, that's true.
That's not why the game was successful. The game was successcul because it's God of War. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I don't think these guys are
good.
Yeah, the game's good. The combat's good.
True.
I don't personally think they're the reason why a game is successful or not. I think they're just a company that is trying to, and I'll say it blatantly, they're just trying to push an agenda within games. Because what I do remember is when I think her name's Agaboga in God of War Ragnarok. I remember when she was announced, there was a lot of backlash and there was a lot of hate, and there was a lot of why is she black? She's not black. When that was revealed, she did get a lot of hate online from
the person playing the character?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because the person playing the character, I forgot her name. She's in Euphoria, and she's also in
Okay, so it's actually a real actress.
Yeah, she acts in Missing. You know that she acts in that.
But
film.
she looks like a kid though. Is it a child?
Yeah, she's young, man. Yeah, she's young.
Wow.
There's a film called Missing, which is just based online where someone's trying to find.
Yeah. I've heard of it.
She's trying to find her mom online. Yeah, she acts in that. She acts in She's If you've watched The Last of Us, she's Riley.
Okay.
She's Riley in Last of Us.
Yes. I remember.
Yeah. So she's Riley, and she acts in, I think it's Europa or whatever it's called. I can't forget that hates Europa. So yeah. So when that got announced, she got a lot of hate mail because that character is black. I mean, is black, and it's obviously in Norse mythology, the character's meant to be white. So I can see where they've had a hand. You can see where the political and social.
I like her though. I like her.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, and then she was cool as Riley. I remember her.
And then when I look at, and it's making sense because now when I shift to Alan Wake 2,
okay, yeah,
a lot of people, I haven't played it. It's on my list to play. I need to finish Control first.
Yeah, they race swapped the character, didn't they?
No, they didn't even race swap. All it was is that I think a lot of people were a bit like. So basically, I haven't played Alan Wake, but from what I know of Alan Wake, you play as two characters, right? You play as Alan Wake and you play as the black
girl. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, because Remedy are such good storytellers, I think the game carried itself. But I know there was a bit of raised eyebrows because it was like the game's called Alan Wake 2. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and people were saying the majority, it's basically a 50-50. Like you play a lot of the game as the black lady.
Yes, Saga.
Yeah, Saga. She's a mom, and apparently there's a good personal story about her. And a lot of people praised it because they were like, this is different in a game because you're a mum and it's telling her own personal story, and it's an experience on a story that we've never really seen in the game. I haven't played it, I can't talk to it. Whereas, Alan Wake is a typical, I've got to save my wife, here's my guns, let's shoot everybody.
Hey, that's not the story of Alan Wake. That's Max Payne. Alan Wake is a horror writer.
But remember, he's trapped. Do you remember
the
whole aspect of Alan Wake is that he was trying to save his wife from the dark space.
Yeah.
And then she got let out, but he got trapped in there, and that's what Alan Wake 2 is him trapped in the dark space. So, like I said, I ain't played it, but it's interesting. And obviously, I haven't played I haven't finished Spider-Man 2, so I can't really comment on that. I don't see anything in that.
Let me say this. I'm going to chime in on Spider-Man 2, right? So for me,
I haven't seen it. I haven't
played Spider-Man 2. I have followed quite a few stories with Spider-Man 2. Yeah. And what I will say is... No spoilers here. But what I will say is this, and I actually liked what I heard with regards to this. There's two things I liked. And there was one thing that really stood out and made me just say, yeah, you see. So, it was to do with you play a character who's got a disability with hearing, right? In Spider-Man 2, funny enough. And what happens is, I think with the haptic controllers or something, there's some sort of gameplay mechanic that comes out because the person has a hearing aid and can't hear properly. And when I heard about that, I was like, whoa, that's actually a cool thing to do. The only thing was that there's two ways to look. It's like, well, okay, why did you take a Spider-Man game to do that? Why not create a game from scratch and do that? But then there's the argument, well, it wouldn't get the attention it would get, so pull it in there. The other thing was the whole LGBTQ flag in Spider-Man 2. Now, a lot of people...
there's a reason why that's in there, but go on.
Yeah, no. There's a reason why that's in there, but this isn't the problem. The problem was, okay, you've got that there, that's cool. Why on earth, if this is okay, right? And I do believe everyone should be allowed to have what they want. Why was it removed in the Middle East? In the release for Spider-Man 2 in the Middle East was not allowed to come out unless they removed the LGBTQ flag. So what that said to me was, okay, this is where gaming and profits still matter. That they were quite happy to, hey, we'll remove that to get that money from over that side, rather than say to people, listen, it's your choice what flags you see in the game. No, you ain't got a choice when you're over here. But because we want to sell that over there, we're going to have to remove that flag. Otherwise, we're not going to get that money. And it also reminds me of the time when Disney were releasing Black Panther out in Japan and those places.
But again, there's a reason for that too, though, right?
Yeah, no, there is, but that's what I'm saying. Money was still prevalent over the whole, we're about everybody. So this is where the hypocrisy comes in, and the kind of like, well, you know what, you're talking out both sides of your face here.
Yeah, these companies only care about money. They don't care about
this is
your
and that's what I'm saying.
Any form of any.
At this point, you could see that gaming was like, oh yeah, you know what? We're not, this thing's all cool and that, but we can't miss out on that money over there. So we'll bend the knee and remove the flag. But you must see the flag if you're not from there. So it's very, very, that is just a complete inconsistency of what you're trying to be about. And I remember when Disney, listen, I ain't forgot when Disney, as I said to you, Disney were like that at one point, but now they couldn't care less. So when it came to, as I said, Black Panther and even Star Wars, they made sure there wasn't one poster in Japan where Black Panther's mask was off. His mask was on all the time.
Yeah, and also Star Wars.
I remember with Star Wars, they made sure Finn was
very
tiny,
tiny picture of him.
Like he's not in the film.
Yeah.
So they were bending the knee them times. And for me, like, to be honest with you, like, even a little side of me is like, yeah, it's good to give these guys the FU now, to a degree. But it's not coming from a place of it's not coming from that place where it should be coming from. It's all very it's all very weird in how now it's being done. But like I said, with the Spider-Man 2 thing, how do you really explain that? You're saying to people, you must see this flag here, but then for a whole nother place in the world, the money talks more. And it's like, your game ain't releasing here if it's got that in it. Simple as. And
Yeah,
so
but
they updated the version to say, okay, yeah, there you go.
no, but it's actually banned. Like it's no, what I mean is in them countries it's illegal. So that, like
if it's illegal, yeah, if something is illegal
not
there,
in China to show a black face, that's not illegal.
Right.
The China thing is just racism. Like
yeah,
right. But it's racism. Wait.
It's racism.
But racism is that not illegal?
Oh, that's
Racism
cool.
is illegal, right?
Oh,
I'm pretty
no,
sure it'll be illegal in China too. Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying being gay in the Middle East, like they operate under Sharia law. Them people, you get killed for certain things. So them removing it, they had no choice. If they wanted to release the game there, they
could have chose not to release the game.
Right. So listen, if you're if you're so pro. Listen, if you're so
Square Enix said they're not releasing their game in the Middle East. I think it was the Middle East or somewhere because they weren't happy about a gay character in Final Fantasy 16. So they were like, "Yeah, cool. We just won't release the game in your region."
Right.
Yeah, but the reason why Square can do that or did that is because that's pivotal to the game. This is just edit out some screenshot because the reason or
no. It's not just screenshots. It's also what do you call it? Dialogues and side missions. So it's proper
what's the
editing.
side mission?
I'm not even.
I've played it. It's not in there like that. From what I've played, maybe coming up there's more, but from what I've played, it's not like there's no like gay or homophobic kind of or homosexual stuff in Spider-Man that I'm aware of or seen. They do flags because they've even got the Black Lives Matter flag in like and stuff like that. And the reason why they do that is because the artists, the environmental artists, the people that work at Insomniac, they have a lot of LGBTQ people that work at Insomniac.
Of course.
So they put them things there as Easter eggs and stuff. You know, they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna this window is gonna have a flag in it. No one's gonna really notice. But obviously, everyone noticed them things. So I think it's easier for them to edit that out and remove it, as opposed to saying this is a character who's, you know, homosexual and is pivotal to the game. So I think that's why it's easier. I think if there was a gay character.
Okay, so basically, there is a mission called Homecoming. Are you aware of that?
No, but don't tell me. I said, in Miles Morales. Are you talking about Spider-Man 2 or Miles Morales?
No. This isn't because I believe you play. Do you not play Miles Morales as well?
Yeah, I played Miles Morales, so you can talk to me about Miles Morales.
So there's an assist mission, where he's helping someone who's looking for their boyfriend.
Yeah, but that game came out in everywhere. That game didn't get banned.
No. Not Miles. Not Miles Morales the game. Miles Morales in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, I ain't seen that.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So that's what's been edited. That's been edited out. So he can't go and help his friend who's got, you know, his same type of boyfriend. He's not allowed. You're not allowed that over it. So get that out of the game.
Yeah, but listen, I don't disagree. I think like if you're gonna do something, like stick with it, isn't it? Like it's not one rule for someone.
But being consistent about your message if you're really about it. Yeah.
But that's the thing. They're not about. They're about the money. That's why. And this is why I laugh at gamers who are like, oh, the devs really care about us. The publishers, they don't care about you. They just care about your pockets. Like it doesn't matter who it is. They care about your pockets. If they really cared about you, the thing would be free. Like they don't care about you. But it's like I go on forums and people are really like passionate. Oh, Naughty Dog love us. Like, no,
doesn't work like that, man.
These guys, they love your money.
You see how the game has kicked off with Last of Us 2 because of the amount of diversity in that.
Hey, look, listen. Let me tell you something here. I still sit here in the realms of naivety, and I don't know exactly what's happened.
It was a masterpiece.
Whatever happened in that game, disturbed a few guys because apparently,
a lot of people were mad with the story.
Yeah, there was some of the because I don't know if you've seen it, Terrence. A lot of the former employees of Naughty Dog at that time. Some of them have left now, and they're no longer on cease and desist, I guess. And a lot of them are talking about their experiences and how basically they were made to do things they didn't want to do, like inserts they didn't want to have in the game, but the consultancy at the time was like, this is what's going to happen and that's going to happen and boom, 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 boom.
Now, the reason why I don't believe that is because like I you know me, I follow The Last of Us. I've watched a documentary that just came out. The thing with The Last of Us is Neil Druckmann. Like, he wrote everything. Like, there's
what about that woman that came for the second game, man?
No, that's what I was gonna say. He wrote everything, and because Bruce Straley left, he brought in the female. I think she wrote.
Right. So listen.
Was it Westwood? Westworld?
Yeah.
She helped with Westworld. Yeah, she wrote Westworld. I've watched the they released the Grounded 2 documentary where they're talking about like making Ellie, like she was the one that made Ellie's girlfriend be pregnant.
Haley Gross.
Yeah, she was the one that made. So that wasn't no consultancy. If you watch The Last of Us, you know it's them two. Like, the way they did everything. Like, she was talking about how, like, she went to bed and she woke up and she was like, do you know what? I've made Ellie's girlfriend pregnant. Ellie's gonna be a mom. Like, she's the one that did all that. Her and Neil Druckmann, they did that. But either way, the reason why I say Last of Us is a masterpiece, because the reason why I respect Neil Druckmann was because he had a vision for his story, and he didn't let no outsiders or nothing from the outside interfere with that. Like, he didn't like, they went full throttle. People were vexed because in the first game, you play as Joel. Joel is the typical beard, gun, everything. In the second game, you play as Ellie, but because everybody already loved Ellie from the first game, they had no problem playing with Ellie. What they had a problem with was playing with the Butch girl. And the Butch girl I thought the Butch girl was lesbian. She's not even a lesbian.
But she just spoilers. Yeah. It's a spoiler stuff.
Spoilers. That's like 5 years old. I'm not spoiling anything, but she's not even a lesbian. Like, she's not a lesbian. Yeah, she's not a transvestite. She's a woman. She's just massive.
Well, no. So no, you got to remember that even the first trailer where Ellie has a kissing scene with her girlfriend. Remember, people were mad about that because they didn't even know Ellie was lesbian. People didn't even know. Remember, because in Last of Us 1, her sexuality is not revealed in that, so you don't know her sexuality.
No, but it is.
No, they say it comes with a DLC. Yeah, they say the DLC is when it.
Yeah,
Riley
when you find out. Riley.
Yeah. So if anyone had just gone from Last of Us 1 straight into 2, they wouldn't know because it was in the DLC and not in just the first game. So I remember that I remember the trailer, the very revealed trailer of Last of Us 2. People were mad about the kissing scene in that trailer. And remember, the Butch girl hadn't even been seen yet. So I remember there was backlash just over that trailer because people were like, this is agenda you're pushing. There was all of this. And I remember there was a big backlash just on the initial official trailer of the game. So I remember that before
and that's
the
why
game
I said,
came
but
out.
it's authentic. It's authentic because if you watch part one, no, when I mean authentic, like they didn't, like Neil didn't just go, in part 2 we're gonna make Ellie gay. Like, like if you play part, I'm saying watch because I've watched it. If you play part 1. Everything, there's nothing in part 2 where you're like, that's forced. That's like everything's there.
That Butch one felt very forced to play that because that character just came out of nowhere.
You didn't have to play the character. You didn't have to.
What do you mean you didn't have to play the character?
No, what I mean,
the game as that character.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you saying you didn't have to play as that character. Like, she wasn't needed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying
that's the force.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. You didn't have to play as her. I feel like she was added because her part was bloated. That's why people saying the game's too long.
Yeah, it was like, where did that come from? Like, that's the part of the story that I'm like, I get how she connects to the story,
but they made it make sense because she couldn't be no skinny Ellie training to kill Joel.
Careful with the thingy, but
listen, let me tell you something. Every time I hear about Last of Us 2 stuff, People just seem traumatized.
But then, Terence, you got to agree
that
sex scene was straight out of nowhere.
Mate, I wanted to vomit.
Exactly.
That's bad, man. That's bad.
Look, listen.
Forced.
We didn't have a choice. There wasn't no dialogue options. No.
Wait. Could you not skip it? Could you not skip this?
No.
Wow. You had to.
No, it was very. It was literally forced on your
That's how I know. That's how I know. At that point there, when you said that, you know that's some crap, because there's always an option to, you press star or X or something to skip to the. That's always there. So suddenly it's not there to make sure you see whatever it is they wanted you to see.
It's the way they did it as well. It happened so quickly that before you can even react, you're like, what the? Yeah. It is because it literally it just cuts to black and then boom, and then it happens, and it's really quick. It isn't a build up to it. It's these people are just chatting and boom, and then it's like and it's really quick. So it is forced on you to see something you didn't want to really see. And it does feel out of place because it's like, what? Like, where did this come from? Like this, it was really like shocking. It just came out of nowhere. So there are some things where you play Last of Us 1 and you play Last of Us 2, you're like, what happened? Like, what happened here? Even though I agree with Terence, Last of Us 2 is an amazing game. Like the gameplay is like, just on the gameplay alone, it's a masterpiece for that. Like I really like the gameplay. The story itself, I'm at odds with the story. I don't like what decisions they made with the story. So that part I don't like, but the gameplay is absolutely solid. Like, and that's the thing. It always shows that gameplay is king, because you cannot knock Last of Us 2 when it comes to gameplay. They nailed it. The game is just amazing.
What about The Last Ronin? The gameplay on that looks pretty solid.
The Last Ronin? Do you mean Rise of the Ronin?
Is that what it's called? Rise of the Ronin, yeah? I've been hearing people talk about the graphics, but the gameplay looks pretty damn solid.
Well, I mean, the game's not out yet, so we can't really talk about that game. We have to see when it actually comes out. But just going back to, obviously, the Sweet Baby Inc. thing, in connection to that, there was obviously a Steam group that was created to track these games, as you mentioned before. And now, obviously, we know games like God of War, Spider-Man 2, they had some other ones, I can't really remember their names, but some other games that, they had been involved in. So the Steam group was following, someone put that together to sort of just like, these are the games that they're like working with and people who they're consulting with. So obviously the employee from the Sweet Baby Inc. tried to get that group shut down. And further than just getting that group shut down, they tried to get the guy's Steam account banned. And obviously your Steam account gets banned, you lose all your games.
Yep, you lose everything.
Imagine all the games that you've purchased. That's a crazy thing. And they were trying to get his Steam account banned. And obviously he raised a ticket with Steam themselves, Valve. And Valve had said, boom, nope, we're not going to ban your account. This is fine. We're not going to bring down the group. So Valve has sided with the group, like the Steam, that no, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with. They're not harassing anyone by having this group. Yeah. And then like I listened to so I watched a sort of like interview. Asmongold was interviewing the guy who made that group, and they were talking about like diversity has always been in games. They were talking about, do you guys remember stuff like Halo? You had the sergeant who was a black guy. Everybody loved that sergeant. You think about Mass Effect, we had the governor who was a black guy, and you get to pick whether he's going to be the guy who's going to lead.
I remember.
There's all these diverse characters within games.
Sean, sorry not to cut you up, but I heard Terence say something earlier about consultancies have always been needed. I don't think they always have been needed, because you can't tell me that consultancies were going on around them times as well.
Yeah, diversity was in games before any of this. So you go to Gears of War, you had not only did you have Marcus Phoenix, you had the American white male, but then you had Dom, who was like the Latino, and then you had Cole Train, the black guy.
Big old Cole.
They had a diverse cast in Gears of War all the way back then. You know what I'm saying? And they were all great characters. Like there was none of those characters where you're like, this character's annoying, or this guy's all forced. Yeah, they were all memorable. They were great characters. They weren't like out of place. None of them felt out of place. It just worked, and it you could just see it was just the natural vision for the game. And games have just like, it's always been there. So it's really strange why they've got these consulting firms trying to like, we got to force diversity in, because diversity has always been there. So I don't know why it's now something that they need to try and force along. But yeah, it's clear that these people have their agendas, and like you said before, like you're seeing statements from some of these employees who saying, "Oh, we want to make the straight white male uncomfortable." Like, why is that the purpose of what you're doing? That shouldn't be the purpose. The purpose should be we want
that's
everyone to
very
play
weird.
together and everyone to be represented. That should be the purpose, not we want to make a particular race uncomfortable. Like that that's something I just don't agree with. I don't agree with that sort of like that sort of action. Like, we've got to make this race uncomfortable by doing all this that we can in their games that they love. So it's really wild
just
how it
it's
is.
just it's a very you just think where's your mind when you're coming out with that? Like, what is your plan and agenda when that's what you want to do? Because that's only going to go one way. And as I said, it's not people from our community who's advocating for that. Because a lot of the time, like I tell you, one of the lines I kept hearing the most, and I was like, I need to start asking people myself this whole, oh, you know what? When I was growing up and I watched Lord of the Rings and there was no black person, and I was like, well, I'm thinking, wait, no way. I don't know one black person who watched Lord of the Rings and sat back and said, "Oh man, there's no blacks in there, man. I didn't enjoy the film." No, like
Yeah, it's true.
where did that start? I'm thinking I've watched
Yeah.
that film multiple times. At no point did I want to be in some fantasy place called Middle Earth with orcs and goblins running around and fire breathing dragons. Not at all. I didn't feel that. I was like, boy, that looked like their problem. It was fun. I watched it.
Yeah.
I can watch it again. It's okay. But now there's
Yeah.
this whole insert and I'm thinking, is this really coming from black people? And then you start to realize it's not. It really is
Well,
not. It's not. It really is not coming from them. And I'm
yeah.
like,
I
why
mean
do
that.
these people I'm just like, why are you lot doing that? Unless you again are perpetuating agendas, screaming and shouting for people who are not even asking for that. Not
Yeah.
asking for that. So
Yeah.
being upset. Imagine you're upset for a set of people who are not upset about it. Trying to force them kind of like, oh, you should be upset. Why? Yeah, but aren't you bothered about?
Yeah.
No, I'm not bothered about that, man.
Yeah.
It's not real life. What are
And
you
it's
talking about?
and at the same time, it's pretty insulting. They're
It
insulting our
is.
intelligence by telling us that,
It
look, you
is.
should be upset about
Yeah,
this.
like no, not
Like,
upset about that.
no, we're not upset about that. Like, we don't insert ourselves in everything. I don't look at
Nope.
medieval times and think that's where black
No,
people were.
no,
No,
not at
I
all.
don't look at
And the thing
Vikings and
is,
think that's where black
the
people were.
funny thing
Oh,
is,
no.
I can sometimes, objectively enjoy something more, because it's not got our
Yeah,
community in there.
yeah.
And the other thing
I
is,
like to
I
not
even
see
have
us
to
in
set myself.
positions like that
Yes,
don't
so
make
imagine
sense.
this.
So I'm like, yeah, keep us out of it.
Even back to like you go back to like when Little Mermaid was coming out, right? And there was this wave of, oh man, finally Little Mermaid, and she looks like us now, and blah blah blah. And I was like, no, that don't make no sense. And I need to speak to some youngins to see if they really feel that way. And I can tell you now, I only maybe got around to about 5 kids, and they were all females, all under 14, and they did not care. They did not. In the time that they'd ever seen Little Mermaid, to whatever age they were, they didn't think to themselves, "Oh, I wish I was Little Mermaid." They just watch it, enjoy it, and then carry on with real life. All of a sudden, there was this whole, "Oh, woe me! I'm so sad. I haven't been in these shows." Nah, man, I am. It's really really exhausting at this point, and it's like they're just not stopping. It's like, come on, insert. No, no one's asking. No, no real. I would say no real number of people are really asking for that. I really can't fathom that. That is just not. That's not for real at all. To me, it just always feels like a reaction
I
from
know,
from the BLM thing. It feels like this was just fast tracked and a
but
reaction from
I
that
kind
time.
of disagree because I feel like back then maybe people weren't asking for it, but people are somewhat asking for it now. There might be a minority in terms of like what I find is happening is people are asking for it, but there's not enough of those people. So for example, we talk about the Little Mermaid or whatnot.
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's a small subgroup of people who want that, but that subgroup of people is not big enough to make The Little Mermaid the #1 film in the world. So by making it the status quo, as in making her white, that reaches everybody. So it is the #1 film in the world.
Right.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like people are asking for it. People are asking for it, but not enough people are asking for it to sustain it.
Yeah,
because everybody wants a black James Bond. If James Bond is black, it's not going to do
and this is
it's
the
not going to
thing.
do the numbers of.
But who's everyone who wants that?
Terrence, we had a good.
But that's
podcast
my point. That's my point. There's like, regardless of who wants it, there's talk. The reason why we're saying it is because there's talk of it, right? There's talk of Idris Elba. There's talk of
that's Hollywood talking about it.
There's a talk of black Superman. Like, there's these things that are being spoken about. But what I'm trying to say is that there's not enough people, or there's not enough of an audience who want that to make whatever they're trying to do successful on the level.
You know what? You see, and that's basically falls into the same pocket as there isn't enough of who they're appealing to, who they're trying to appeal to. Number one, doesn't really care about this stuff. Number two, doesn't turn up to watch them and doesn't buy it. They just make the noise about it. So you'll find, it's like, for instance, put it this way, and there is so much evidence about stuff like this. So you will take the feminist, so to speak, the feminist who talks about empowering women, supporting women, supporting each other. Sorry, say again?
The Marvels is a good example.
Right. Listen, that's exactly what I was about to lead to. But although the Marvels is a very, very good recent example, it's not exclusive to just that, because we've seen things where, I think for me, the big eye opener was okay, there's no way to walk around this one. In this country, we had the first female only boxing card, right? And it happened, is it a year yet? Might be a year ago. And listen, not only that, the females who were talking about supporting each other were nowhere to be seen. Like, you will talk it, but then you won't buy the ticket, you won't buy the pay-per-view, you're not going there, you're not selling out the arena because there's so many of you, but you're just waffling. And I feel the same thing happens when they do the whole female film thing. Where are all your female fans then? They're not there. You know why? Because traditionally, what you're trying, the basis of where you've gone to try to appeal is systematically always been a male face, if you will. Males like tech, males like explosions, they like fast cars, they like high fantasy. That's what they like. It's the same way if you go and have rom-coms. Look at was it My Big Fat Greek Wedding? You remember how big that was?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that was big with females. Yeah, there was men too, but you're talking 70-30 or something like that. Nobody argued about that because it made sense. They knew who they were appealing to. Now these guys are getting upset that their stuff is not selling the way it was, but you're not appealing to those people. You're telling those people to basically get out of it. So when they do that now, it's an issue because you're not getting the numbers you were getting, and your agenda's not being pushed in the direction or to the numbers that you'd like it to be pushed to, because it's not for them. And that's the part that really, like, I look at it and I think you people really have no clue. You can't appeal to the people you're trying to appeal to when you're not even setting it up for them. Even when we had Endgame, right? Which, again, we all know that was the blueprint of what was coming. Thanos was having a good time until all the females turn up. And then Miss Marvel came and boom, 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 boom. And I look where Miss Marvel is now. So with that, I really don't get. I do feel that these guys, when they're doing what they're doing, they're not thinking this thing through at all. And the only way that I can come to a conclusion that they are thinking it through is that, listen, they will keep pressing and keep pressing and keep pushing and keep pushing until it can't be for profit. As I said before we even started, it cannot be like, we're trying to make money. No, because for the longest while, as I said before, these people have made a systematic run of making billions upon billions upon billions in media, in film, in gaming or whatever. And then now, not so much so that you go from being basically untouchable to now looking like you're like the competitor that you had who couldn't even get anywhere near to you, while inserting so many different things and removing so many of the things that made what you were doing extremely profitable, which then leads me to just say, listen, it means that profits have taken a back step into what you're trying to do. And with that being said, that's what I feel at this point. It's not about profits anymore. Ultimately, I don't feel it's about profit. It really must be about the agenda and what you're trying to push and what stance you're choosing to take.
So, like, there's a thing where, there is there is a section where diversity, people are speaking up and wanting change. Mm-hmm. And it's not video games where that's happening. It's stuff like just what recently happened with the Oscars. Oscars so white. The hashtag Oscars so white is a big deal because people are pushing for diversity and stuff like that where they're not being recognized.
Hold on. May I just chime in? Because I'm pretty sure Will Smith and his wife years ago told blacks to boycott the Oscars, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and then he went to the Oscars. He went to the Oscars, right? No, not too long ago when they decided to do what he did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, Oscars has just happened recently, and what people were then talking about was all the big awards going to white males or white females. And that's now the discussion again. That Oscars so white. So the topic has resurfaced.
I mean, how do you feel about that? Because to be honest with you, I watched quite a few things last year. Or let's just say the main ones. So the Oppenheimers, the Barbies. I really wanted to watch Godzilla. I missed it. But I heard it done very well at the Oscars, not in terms of acting, but in terms of special effects. And the irony here is, say again, sorry?
It won one award for special effects.
Right, so listen to this. The film that got the special effects award was the film that cost the cheapest in terms of special effects. How funny is that? I think their budget was something dumb. I can't remember what it was.
Didn't they say it's the first film in like over a decade that is like the cheapest?
Yeah, like listen, it was stupidly cheap. I don't know if it was 15 million or something. Not that.
What is that? Godzilla -1.
Yeah. -1 was ridiculous.
It's one of his. People say it's a really good film. So
listen, I've heard it's so epic, and I haven't seen it. The trailer I saw, Godzilla looked the most frightening I've ever seen him look. But that was just, I was just like,
frightening in what way? Are you saying a good way or a bad way?
No. He's a menace in this film. He looks like a complete nightmare. Like he's not no hero or anything. I'm looking at him thinking, wow, is that what they've done with Godzilla? But it looks good. And you look at last year, The Flash, The Marvels, Blue Beetle, Guardians of the Galaxy, all those high-level so-called films came out. They didn't get no awards. And remember what was going on with that? Remember the SFX guys were talking about what happened?
I was going to say, they were rubbish, weren't they?
And those films were costing hundreds of millions to make. But Sean, back to what you were saying about
No, so what I was saying, so the point was is that there is, there are voices that are going out loud against stuff like that. The award shows being just so predominantly white and white people being recognized for their talent, where people of color are not being recognized. So those type of things are like they're more understandable because when they try to push this in gaming already had diversity. So you're not pushing something new, you're just trying to make an issue out of something that wasn't even an issue. So it was never an issue. They're trying to make an issue out of something that wasn't an issue.
I'll tell you what, in gaming, you can feel it a kind of a lot more.
You had Walking Dead one game of the year, wasn't it? Lee was a black character. He was a main character.
Everett. Yep, I remember
what I'm saying? So it's like it's not diversity was already in gaming. So this whole narrative to push it in gaming makes no sense. Where for stuff like the Oscars, absolutely makes sense. I get why people need to push diversity in those directions because people of color are not being recognized for their talents and their hard work. And that's where those things that's where change needs to happen.
Yep.
So that's where I also stand with that. Yeah,
that does definitely make sense.
Their Sweet Baby Inc. needs to be consulting with the Oscars. not bloody gaming companies. That's what they need to be consulting with.
It's true, you know. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Because the other way is just some nonsense, man. I don't know what they're doing. But you know, I feel that is what that is with that situation. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Who kind of caves in first? But I don't see it them caving in, and they'll probably, you know what will happen? They'll just move on to something else. That's just kind of like how I see it. They'll be there and then they'll just go, yeah, we done there. We couldn't do this or we could do that, and then we'll just move on and do whatever we're doing.
Yeah, it's just it is weird, but yeah, you know, the good thing is that, you know, I think good games will continue to prevail. You know, as we've had successes this year, Power World, Helldivers 2, like these games that come out, indie games that are they're smaller than the big AAA games. They cost half the price, and they are just delivering. Like, people are very happy with these games, and Helldivers is a live service game. So when people were like, "Oh, gamers don't have an issue with live service," gamers have an issue with bad games. So Suicide Squad being bad is the issue, not that it's live service. It's the fact that the game is actually bad. But if a game is good, it doesn't matter if it's live service. People are happy as long as the game is good, and Helldivers has proven that. So yeah, it is like really hilarious how like the smaller games, the ones that are not supposed to do so well, are the ones doing super well. So there's a message being sent to the industry that, look, the focus needs to be on games being good, not about diversity and, oh, you're trying to send this message. No, your focus, or the game must have all this in it, and it must try to appeal to all these people. No, just make a game good. Focus on making the game good, and people will buy it. People will play it. And that's where the focus needs to be at. Because again, God of War, Last of Us 2, like, they've shown that you can have diversity in the games as long as the game is good. That's all gamers care about. We're not fussed. Like, it's like what Terence was saying. It doesn't mean the game's not going to sell if Sweet Baby Inca consulting on these games. It's just make sure the game is good. That is the only thing gamers really care about. Make it good. If the diversity is your focus and you're not making the game good, then no one's going to want to play it.
Yeah,
and that's really the bottom line. Make your games good.
It's true.
And like you said, even with Suicide Squad, if Suicide Squad was a good game, we would be sitting here maybe talking about that aspect of the game.
Exactly.
Like, oh, wow, this is such a good game. I can't believe they went here with the story, but that's not even the story. The story is just a bad game.
That's it.
And the thing is, you know what, as well, it's a bad game, and it's like a case of, it's a bad game, but how on earth did this happen? I'm so interested in that more than anything else. Like,
but you know how it happens, because like, if we talk about
no. I don't. No. Let me maybe break down what I mean by that. Look, you had close to a decade making this game, right? Okay, it's a live service game. Yeah, that's a red flag in itself. But we still know that there's some exceptions to the rule. Now, what I'm hearing, the funny thing is, the worst parts about the game I'm hearing aren't necessarily coming from the fact that it's a live service game. It just seems to be coming from a lot of the other things, the design, the direction, the gameplay. It just got people really in a tiz. And even watching it, you have imagine not having no inspiration to really follow through or play a game with all those kind of marquee characters in it. I would never have imagined that. And that's the part that's really thrown off. It's like, hold on, this has got the DC hierarchy in one game. No one's playing. People play the Lego Disney games more than that. Sorry, Lego DC games more than that.
Yeah.
And this game comes out after almost a decade of resources, time, money, and even a year delay after that. It just, it's just like, what? Like, how could that be happening? And even looking around and seeing how other games, come out and things go kind of wrong, the cyberpunks of the world and stuff like that. And even saying, look, we don't want to be doing that. We're going to come out strong. You know, we got our vision, blah 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 blah. You know, it just because like I said, listen, I see that and I'm like, wow, you know, we had 3 great games from the same company, and then they come out of another game and it's just buried them. Absolutely, not even any kind of case of, okay, you know what, this can be fixed. And then I don't know if you've seen the Joker that's coming. Have you seen him?
What? What do you mean? The Joker that's coming to
the character that's coming in the update called the Joker?
Yeah, he looks
I saw
awful.
a picture of
From
him.
Elseworld,
My
isn't it?
goodness me, man. I don't know if his name is the Giggler. He shouldn't be called the Joker. I said, what?
He's meant to be from alternative reality.
Oh,
Playing the
gee.
game, I can see
Yeah,
how they put him in, but it's wrong.
Like, that is just, I'm just like, mate, come on. Like, listen, it's even making me get the, you know, there's a Joker 2 film coming out this year, and I'm starting to wonder now. I am starting to wonder. So
it'll be interesting to see what your take is on that Joker film, because I can't lie, I'm low key worried. I'm sure it'd be great.
Hey, listen.
Wait, why are you low key worried? What's happened? What's going on?
So from my perspective, I'm sure the film will be great. So the reason why, and it's the same with Deadpool, the reason why number one,
I'm worried about Deadpool too.
The reason why the first Joker film was great, because I think Raf, you brought this up as well. It was a film that was made with an artistic vision and style. They didn't need the money, they just needed a small budget, and they knew what they were doing, and they pulled it off fantastic. I saw reports that this film cost over 200 million.
Right.
Wow.
Listen. Why is it called? Listen. Has it got space battles in it? Has it got what is there special?
Maybe Batman shows up. Maybe Batman shows up.
Like 200 million.
He must be all special effects. Batman cape, Batmobile.
Remember you was like,
go, Terrence. Do you remember what?
Remember you was like, oh, let me try and see what the budget is. Remember you was like, this film was made for like whatever, made $1 billion.
Yeah, no, remember, it was the most profitable rated R film in history.
There you go. The film had a budget of between 55 million and 70 million. So basically about 60 million.
Most of that went to Joaquin Phoenix, I believe.
And it made over £1 billion on a 55 million pound budget. Now you've done your sequel that has cost over 200 million.
On what? And this is the thing.
200 million for the sequel. That's why I'm worried. And listen,
are there said to be any guest features or anything like that? Is there any?
No, it's been kept on the wraps.
It has. They've been tight-lipped on that.
Did I not hear something about it's supposed to be a complete musical?
Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, it's a musical.
And the first one, I don't remember being a musical.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't bother me that much. That doesn't bother me that much because
it wasn't a musical.
It wasn't. Listen. Although it wasn't a musical, you got to remember this. One of the most iconic scenes in the whole film was very musically based. When he was going down them stairs, they put a lot of effort into that, and that's where I'm like, there's got to be some
being wild. But a musical. You know, when you say musical, you're talking about scenes where a man is singing with people and they're doing an actual song, you know, like.
Bro, look. Let me say this.
That's why they have Lady Gaga.
I can imagine. Listen. I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah, like there'll be a thing where it's in his head, but
listen. I can actually imagine and envision the Joker being on a madness, singing while killing people. I can see that, singing his monologues that he does. I can really envision that. That wouldn't be weird.
Let's be real. We know it's not that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's a love story, isn't it? So there's a lot of.
We don't.
A love story? Where have you heard this?
That has not been confirmed, Terrence. That's Terrence.
It's a love story coming from.
It's a love story between.
It's a love story
between
him and Harley Quinn.
Him and Harley Quinn. It's there.
Oh wow. Okay. You see, I don't know anything about it. That's why I'm like, all I heard was that it was a musical, so I didn't know anything. I didn't even know Harley Quinn was in it. Oh wow.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's there.
Yeah, it's Lady Gaga.
So she's playing Harley Quinn and not using Margot Robbie now?
No, she's Harley Quinn. One of Margot Robbie's good now.
So they're using Lady Gaga. Has Lady Gaga been in any films before?
Yeah, she's a solid actress.
She's a brilliant actress. She was in
She was in American Horror Story.
American Horror Story, yeah. And
she was very good. She was very good. No, wait. Whoa. Did she not get a supporting actress Oscar one time?
Maybe.
But that film she was in with what's his name? Bradley Cooper.
The singer one. That's a very good film too.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I heard she was real good in that. So I
yeah,
don't know.
Star is Born.
Yeah, that's it. So maybe it's off the back of that. I don't know. But
and obviously she's got an amazing voice. So there you go.
Yeah, and she's well renowned in that field. But yeah, that Deadpool, they're all looking
Yeah, so what's the issue with Deadpool? Why? Because the trailer looked good. Looked like usual Deadpool to me.
What I mean is, not saying that it's going to be bad. What I mean is, like, there's something about films that like are not doing the most. And I feel like I watched Deadpool 1 again, and I was like, this is such a good film. And you can tell it was a cheap made film, but it's such a good film. But I get,
you know what? It was left alone. That's the thing. It was one of those projects where it was left alone. And
but number 2 wasn't. Number 2 had the Disney inclusion on it, and that's why I had to speak about it. But it was still a good film.
But number 2 wasn't made with Disney though. That was Fox.
No, that's what he says at the start of the film. Do you not remember? It's like, oh yeah, guys, listen. He says, and watch number 2 again from the beginning, and listen to Ryan Reynolds. He goes, guys, I know everyone's worried the age certificate has been reduced, but just remember, Disney movies always start with a grisly murder. And he was literally saying that as he was murdering people.
But I don't think that was. I think he was just taking the piss out of Disney. I don't think because
because the film certificate. This is the time Disney got involved and they reduced it. Like they had got a Marvel, and the second film. Remember, the first film was 18, I believe, and then the second film was reduced to 15. And people were like, "What? What's Disney doing?" Like there was a whole lot of backlash about that. That its age certificate was reduced. Yeah. Because it used to be at 18 and it went down to 15, and everyone was like, "What? What's Disney doing? They're Disneyfying." Like the at that time, everyone was like, "They're Disneyfying Deadpool," because the age certificate's been reduced down. Which when the first film was at 18, so everyone was really upset about that, and that's why he addressed it in the movie at the start. It was like, "Nah, don't get it twisted. Disney movies start off with a grisly murder. So what's the problem?" Like, it's like I don't think anything's changing here. So it was really good that he broke the fourth wall to say that in the movie, and you can see the movie was still fine, even though, obviously Disney had got their hands in and the age certificate was reduced. So he did address that. So that's at the start of the movie. You watch Deadpool 2 again, next time on the podcast, you'll be able to quote what he said. That's exactly what he did, and I remember that. And I was like, rah. So and the good thing is that in number 2, he's the producer of it, so it's like he had more creative freedom, and I think that's what it was, that he didn't allow Disney to just completely take over everything. He kept a lot of creative freedom for that movie.
Because I remember Deadpool 2. Didn't they release like an actual kids version once upon a Deadpool or something?
Yeah, there was some sort of spin-off thing that they did. I never watched that.
Is this one that was able for children?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, there was a little thing. Yeah, but I never watched it, so I don't know what it was. I remember there was a little Deadpool thing. I don't know if it was a Christmas thing. I remember there was a little something that happened. They called it Once Upon a Time Deadpool or something like that. But yeah, it was weird. But no, he addressed it in the second film, because these were the times Disney had bought Marvel. And the age certificate for the film had changed, so people were mad about that. There was a whole backlash about it. But he addressed it before because obviously this has all happened before the film had come out, and then once the film out, he addresses it at the start of the film. He was mentioning Disney movies.
When did Disney buy Marvel? I mean, Disney buy Fox.
Yeah, they did.
Recently.
It was I think it was basically
2009.
Wait,
they've had it for that long.
Yeah,
wait. 2009.
Yeah, and then Deadpool came out in 2018. Yeah, so Disney bought Marvel in 2009.
Yeah, but remember, Deadpool was owned by Fox. It wasn't part of Marvel.
Oh, yeah. So let's see when they.
Sorry, I was talking about when they did. Oh no,
yeah.
So
when they bought Fox, that's when they got access to Deadpool, because they had nothing to do with Deadpool up to that point.
Oh, so it was announced in 2017 when they did it.
They completed the sale in 2019.
That's it, 2019.
Yeah,
that's correct.
but
And
it
that's
was
when X-Men
initiated in
and all of those things were
2017.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like the Activision. That's like the Activision stuff, innit? That was like 3 years
Yeah.
ago, innit?
Yep.
But they've only just
Yep.
cleared it. They
Literally.
only just cleared it now.
Yeah, so obviously it was announced in 2017. So this is why Deadpool 2 was getting a whole lot of backlash before it came out, because obviously people knew Disney were making moves to get Fox and all that. But that's why Ryan Reynolds addressed it, and that the age certificate had gone down. So they were like, "Rah, this must be Disney's influence, because why is it going from 18 to 15?" So people were very upset at that time. And but he addressed it.
Well, listen,
And that's why
I don't know if any of you lot got a whiff of the recent situations with Deadpool now. Obviously, it's in the editing phase and stuff, and so you heard about Brie Larson, that Disney was doing everything, because basically this film here, if you've ever been involved with Disney, Marvel, you're going to be in this film basically. So any film you can think of, someone is going to be in this film. They've been anything to do with Marvel, they're in this film in one. It's going to have
because he's
the one who's
going to be the Marvel Jesus, so he's going to so he's going to be jumping into all timelines.
So basically, what happened?
Expected, isn't it?
So what happened was, or what's allegedly meant to have happened, is that you got Captain Marvel there, you got Hulk and the She-Hulk and stuff like that, and everything was fine up until editing phase, where Ryan Reynolds got whiff of what they were trying to do, and he's pressed to have them removed completely from the film, not even re-edited what their scenes were, but getting them removed from the film completely. So this was all leaking out because of Brie Larson got mad, because I think it was meant to be her last thing to do with Marvel, and now it's been like, nope, not going to happen. Ryan Reynolds said no, he don't like it, and he's not playing ball with them. So a lot
that's
of
good.
No, so
that's good, though, a lot of Ryan Reynolds is keeping control.
To check this, a lot of people are like, look, just like our Cavill is, this guy understands and gets. Look, you can't just be sullying and soiling source material just to peg something in because you want it in there. He basically having a stance of not in this film. If I'm involved in it, you're not bringing that in there. And so so far, that's two, and then casualty that She-Hulk and Miss Marvel.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you said that you're more worried about it.
No, I am more worried. That does worry me, because listen, if a man has to do that at this point, I do wonder what else are they sneaking in there. That means the reason I'm worried is that's out because of him. Now, why? What's going on? I'm like, okay, that's not good. That now in the edit,
you already know what's going on. What do you mean? What's going on? Have you not seen the state of the Marvel universe?
Bro, listen, exactly. So, like I said, already now I'm like, and it's delaying the second trailer, because they're already talking about the second trailer is going to be delayed now because of the changes that's going to go on. But he was assured. So basically, the argument is him and what's the brother, Wolverine, were all assured that boom, 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 all's good, all's well. Now editing phase is taking place and things are starting to be messed about. And what Ryan Reynolds has done so well up to this point is keep everything under wraps. Now Disney's coming and getting more involved. Things are just coming out, and this is going on, and no one's on the same page. And one said this, and this one said that, and I'm like, look at this chaos, man. There shouldn't be no chaos.
Because we've seen what editors can do with the Justice League.
Yeah, listen, editors can assassinate your film.
So yeah, they could absolutely.
Listen, you saw what they did to Justice League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That film was butchered.
So I was like, they just take so much stuff out.
Snyder cut, I was like, how the hell?
Listen, how did that happen?
I was like, it's insane. How did you cut all this out? But they had the whole Flash scene completely removed.
They came in, chopped the film up, right? You could see that film was blatantly meant to be a 2-part film. Blatantly.
Chopped out villains.
They wanted one film.
So much.
And the thing is, what you got to look at as well is how these people's job description goes. They'll be employed to do what they were told to do, and that's what they did. They said, make this film less than such and such running time, cut it up, and that's it. Nobody proof checked it. No one went, okay, is this even going to make sense when it releases? No, just chop it up and get it out of there. They'll watch it. And
they even changed the villain, didn't they?
Yeah.
The way he looked,
Steppenwolf and Darkseid. It was like, what?
Thingy.
And you could always tell, you know, when you watch, because around them times you watch it, you're like, hold on, something ain't adding up in this film. How did it just jump from here to there? But you had no evidence of what you feel. So this is the thing. You knew you felt it. You knew in your own intelligence was telling you, nah, this ain't adding up. But you got no proof to back up what you're actually saying. It just looks wrong. What happens years later? Snyder Cut. And how did the Snyder Cut come out? It came out because fans were forcing for it. Absolutely forcing for it. And remember, all that time Cavill was like, look, he did so many scenes that he didn't understand, and hardly none of the scenes made it to the film. But he was like, okay. And that's how they managed, because this is what they'll do. Because I think he
got rid of his black suit.
Yeah, he had his black suit. There it is. Halle Berry, yeah? Halle Berry didn't want to do, I can't remember what X-Men it was. There was an X-Men she didn't want to do. And you know how they got her to do it?
Last Stand.
I think, was it that one? None of you know how they got her in there? And she was like, she ain't ever working with these guys again. They got her in there and said, yeah, and they were like, yeah, you know, what do you want? She said, yeah, I want to do a scene where I'm using my storm powers in Africa to like raise some water or something. And they were like, yeah, we'll do that. And they did the scene and never put it in the film. And she was like, what? And the same thing happened with this recent Madam Web. Like, Madam Web came out. And there's a whole listen, man. It's so funny.
She's been.
I don't know watched it. Have you watched it? Have you watched it, Terrence?
I haven't watched it.
That film looks trash, man.
I've heard it's been a complete disaster, like a complete and utter disaster of like being lied to. So it's like you imagine you will film something.
Yeah, but she complained about it.
They were mocking it at the Oscars.
She actually went. She said she fired her. I can't remember the lady's name now, but the actress of the main actress of Madam Web fired her whole team afterwards because they said to her that she was told she was gonna be in the MCU film, yeah. And it turns out it was a Sony standalone Spider-Man, not even nothing to do with Spider-Man. It turns out nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's a standalone, like female only thing. And she was like, "That's not what I was told. I was told I'm gonna be part of the MCU." No, she fired her handlers, fired everyone. She said, "No, I don't want to do it." And she just started going in on the film. And he was like, "Raw, she shit on her own film." She said, "Listen, she said, I understand the fans not wanting to watch this film." And I was like,
what is this villain suit? This villain looks terrible. What is this? I was just looking at images. I'm like, man, looks like he's wearing visors.
Oh, the fake Spider-Man.
Yeah, like what the fuck is this?
The film, listen, they're really mocking people, man. I saw that and was like, what is this? Like, are you thinking
it could not have had a budget? Oh no, I've got to see what the budget is. It could not have had an 80 million budget.
How much?
80 million. 80 million. That does not look like they spent 80 million on that.
80 million, you know.
80 mil. That does not. This looks like a 10 mil film, maybe 15 mil at most. This does not look like a film that they spent 80 million on it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is mad.
Yeah, that's them.
Wow.
It is mad though.
Crazy. Okay. Well, I mean, if Deadpool's gonna reset the whole Marvel universe thing, will be like Terrence probably might know more what direction they're planning to go in after the Deadpool stuff. Is there any talk about where that's going?
No, but didn't they fire my guy? So who knows what's going on? Remember they were going with Krang.
Oh yeah.
Because he got in trouble, innit?
Yeah. And I haven't watched Loki season 2, but he's got a massive part in Loki season 2. He had a massive part in Ant-Man, remember? And
yeah. I think what it is there is I think the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they announced that.
Yeah, is now going to
is it Pedro Pascal?
Pedro Pascal and these others. I don't know these other actors.
That's a big win for Marvel, you know. I think they're counting on him to have that.
Man, I don't know.
No. What I mean is, I'm not saying he's right for the
Mr. Fantastic.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying who he is. I think he's one. He's like they're gonna probably try and make him like their new Robbie Downey Jr. He's got that like everyone loves him, man. Like The Last of Us. Everyone loves him. Mandalorian.
From Narcos, man. From Narcos.
Mandalorian. Game of Thrones.
I was about to
Game
say
of
to you, listen,
Thrones, yeah.
for me, it's Oberyn. Oberyn Martell sold me on
No, I
game.
think that's what blew him up. That him being Oberyn is what made him huge. Because people liked him in Narcos, but Game of Thrones blew him up. That blew him up.
And that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not saying, oh my gosh, she's like the fantastic.
Because you know what? To be honest with you, I really like Mandalorian, but it's not. You don't really see him
Exactly.
It's not him. I'm like, well, I hear his voice,
but people like him though. People like him. That's the thing.
Who was like him?
He was Oberyn. Oberyn was a sick character, and everyone's shocked the way Oberyn died as well. So everyone was like, I think everyone's horrified by that. Because Oberyn was a really good character. He was really dope.
You did last. Remember that was the point. I think the show taught you. Listen, don't get attached to people in the show.
Yeah,
don't get attached.
You got to use
the minute you just be liking someone, bam.
Yeah, because I was so shocked, like hearing how much people love Drago, and then I couldn't believe how short his stint was in the. He was in and out of that show within a few episodes. I was like, raw, like this is the Drago. So this is what I'm saying. Those two. So think about it, Drago and Game of Thrones blew up both of them because he was massive because of Game of Thrones, and so was Oberyn. Them two characters blew up because of Game of Thrones.
Wait. Khal Drogo's Aquaman, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a love character. Because of what you think?
No, I totally forgot. You know, no. I totally forgot.
That's why he was. He's that guy. That's why, because he was Khal Drogo.
Yeah. It's true.
The women love him.
It's true.
Despite him being a rapist in the show, women love these characters.
Listen, what can you say, mate? What can you say?
It's funny, man. Yeah, it's really, really.
I mean, listen, when I went to watch Aquaman, there was this, there was like a row of females, at the front, and their behavior. If men were behaving like that, my gosh, man, their behavior was absolutely just wild. Every time he was on the screen with no top off, screaming, jumping up and down. I was like, what is going on?
I remember that from Twilight, man. When I used to go watch the Twilight, anytime Jacob took off his top, oh my god, girls in the cinema going mad.
Wow, the thirsty behavior was, and these were some older women as well. I was like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? I was like, yeah, you see that?
That's funny. You know what? I never even thought of that, because if guys were doing that anytime a woman got topless,
hey, look,
they would be disgusted by guys doing that.
The police will be waiting for you outside. Inappropriate conduct in a public place. Yeah.
Well, it's actually mad to think about that, because that guys don't do that when women a beautiful woman's on the screen and you get topless. You don't hear them screaming and shouting. You don't hear that.
Not at all.
That's funny, but women do that a lot.
I think they call it nice heckling when you're whistling at a female in the streets.
That's actually funny. I never thought about it. It's such a double standard, ain't it?
Yeah. I thought that, and I was just like, whoa, that they were so comfortable. They might have been half drunk, who knows, man. But I was just like, what are they doing?
Man, I said, no, Twilight was the same, man. Jacob, girls at the cinema are always shouting when Jacob takes his top off. I'd seen it multiple times because I was watching the Twilight movies. You know, so yeah, it was a thing.
Okay, so that might draw us to the end. You know, I'm trying to think. Did we miss anything?
Anything we did miss, it would have to be for another episode. So
no doubt, no doubt. So as we draw to the end of this one here, people, there are some topics we didn't cover, so I can tell you now they'll be in the next one. But we're gonna close it. So we'll go around to Sean if he has any closing words specifically or word. Do let it know now.
You know, stay safe out there. You know, watch out. COVID's still about. That should be a saying.
It's the 4-year anniversary, isn't it? It's the 4-year anniversary in a few days.
4 years on, and we're still. We never forget. You know, we never forget. But yeah, no, obviously I think by the next time we do a show, would have finally got my hands on Dragon's Dogma 2, so that'll be good I'll be able to provide first impressions on that, so that'll be good. So yeah, we'll watch out for the next one.
No doubt. And Terence, closing words for yourself?
Closing words. My closing words is for the bloody males to be targeted. These back rows that he keeps locking, he needs to stop it.
Wait. Did you just say something about the mayor of London? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That's my. I'm gonna do it different this time.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
They must be really
I was like,
irritating you,
what?
man. Must be getting really irritated.
Irritating. These back roads. If you drive in London, there's a thing where back roads they've been closing them. They've been closing them since COVID. No traffic zones.
And they make you drive 20 miles an hour now as well.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's horrible.
Force you to go on the main road. It's pointless, man. And if you know London, you know that to get to where you want to get to, it's back roads. No one goes over the lane.
Yeah, no, the roads have become a real mess since lockdown and all that.
So,
and then opening up cyclist lanes, and there's no cyclists there. I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's
you know?
State.
It's true.
Anyway, but that was my closing. Stay safe.
Yeah, no doubt. And for myself, closing words. If you made it this far, do digest what we spoke about with regards to these consultancy companies and diversity and everything else. You may have views on it.
Start your own, innit? That's what I say.
Yeah.
Start your own.
It's, you know what I mean? I'm even thinking, listen, I'm even thinking of saying, listen, I have 30 plus years of being a diverse individual in real life. You can consult me anytime, and I'll let you know what to put in and what to take out.
Let's start one and let's make Mario black.
Yeah, and
let's make him an African plumber.
Well, speaking of Mario, they had their sequel announced recently, but that's a story for another time. Yeah, sequel to one of the greatest films of last year. Super Mario Bros. Did you watch it, Sean?
What, the movie? No.
Yes. Well, I don't know what you're waiting for. You need to hurry up.
Like, I'll watch them too.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Put no respect for Mario's name.
As a game, I'm not actually a fan of movies based on games. Surprising.
Didn't ask you all of that. You just need to watch the movie.
I just have to provide context. That's all. But no, I will watch it at some point. I will.
Yeah. So with that being said, and also check out the anime we mentioned on Netflix. If you pay a Netflix subscription or have access to Netflix, worthy of the watch. You will be happy with that recommendation. Other than that, should have a really interesting episode next time round. And yeah, enjoy gaming and all the other forms of medium that you enjoy. And until then, till the next time.
Peace out.
Peace.